with Lance Hall. Happy to welcome Marta Gabriel of Crystal Viper to the program tonight. How are you doing tonight, Marta?
I'm doing well, thank you very much, and thank you for having me.
Absolutely. You guys have a new album coming out February 12th called The Cult on Listenable Records. I have heard an advance copy. It is fantastic stuff.
Wow, that's super nice to hear, especially, and thank you for that. I'm glad you like it, and we are very proud of this album.
Let's start right at the top, right at the beginning. Tell me a little bit about the title and the cover art that Mario Lopez did for you. They both sort of intrigued me.
Let me start with the title, The Cult.
Hmm.
All lyrics on the new album are inspired by works by novels and stories of Howard Phillips Lovecraft. And the title track, The Cult, is inspired by the Call of Cthulhu story. But as Lovecraft was writing a lot about many different cults, many ancient cults and forgotten cults, we thought that this title will represent what you can find on the album. And regarding cover art, we had a very specific idea for the cover art. And yes, Mario Lopez painted it. And he did an amazing job, in my opinion. First of all, we wanted to make sure that if, for example, someone is Lovecraft's fan, he will take a look at the cover art, and in one moment he will know what this album is about. We wanted to get this Lovecraft's climate on the cover art, and we also wanted the cover to have this classic 80s heavy metal look, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and we wanted it also to kind of show what you can expect, on the album musically. So yeah, I think the cover art is really great. As I said, Mario did an amazing job, and I really cannot wait to have, the album on vinyl here, to see this cover art in a huge format, because I don't have my copies yet. It's still before the release date, so I haven't seen that live yet. But I can tell you one more very interesting story about the cover art, actually. If you take a look on the left, on the balcony, you can see all members from Crystal Viper there.
Okay.
We are super, super tiny. And, Mario did an amazing job. And in Crystal Viper with guys, we are laughing that Mario was probably painting us with a needle. Because if you take a look closely, you can even say who is who.
Wow.
Seriously.
I'm gonna have to check that out when we get done.
Yeah,
That's cool.
check it out because it's pretty cool.
You mentioned it coming out on vinyl, which is going to be very cool. Of course, you got it coming out on CD, cassette as well, which seems to be making a bit of a comeback. Are you guys seeing some success with cassette releases?
This is what I wanted to do for years, but it wasn't possible because, there wasn't places where you could where you could produce actually your music on cassettes, and for us it's a kind of turning back to times when we were buying
Yeah.
music on cassettes. I even remember myself going to school on the bus with Walkman in my pocket with Iron Maiden cassette inside. And I remember it was somewhere in time. I was keep on listening to this cassette every single day. I'm not sure for how many weeks it was, but it was my favorite album from Iron Maiden, and it still is. And I suppose it's my favorite Iron Maiden album because I got it as the first one.
Right. Yeah.
And it was on the cassette. And releasing Crystal Viper album on a cassette is such an awesome thing, except being musicians and playing in band, we are also, metal fans. We like to buy stuff from bands and so on. So I really hope that Crystal Viper fans will be also happy because they could have this kind of,
Uh,
format with our music,
Absolutely.
because I'm freaking happy. I can even describe how happy I am.
Very cool. I was lucky enough to see Iron Maiden on the Somewhere in Time tour. It was
Oh,
phenomenal.
that's great.
Phenomenal with Yngwie Malmsteen opening. So that was a great.
Wow, amazing. I've seen them 3 years ago or so with the latest tour, and they are fantastic live.
Yeah.
In my entire life, I've seen Iron Maiden two times, but the last one was like I was blown out completely.
Yeah. Great stuff. Great band. They always, they bring it every night. Now, talk about somebody who brings something to every night and every album and everything. Bart Gabriel produced, who, of course, is someone near and dear to your heart. Worked with you on this one. And then I found it interesting as well. Your new drummer, Cedric, mixed this album.
Yes, that is true. And it's also connected with the entire situation of creating this album, which it's strongly connected with this pandemic situation, because actually we started to working on this album because we knew that we won't be able to tour and to play in 2020 because after we released Days of Fire and Ice album, it was the ending of 2019, and after releasing this album we played literally 8 live shows and this pandemic began. So in March we knew that that we are not going to tour and to play, and we decided to work on the album to not waste the entire year. And we were recording all tracks at homes, as well as Cedric was recording his drums in his own studio. Okay. We were recording guitars, vocals, and other stuff also at our homes. And it happened because Crystal Viper members live in 3 different countries, in Poland, in Germany, and in Sweden. So borders were closed, flights were canceled, so it was impossible to travel between countries. And as we were working on our tracks at homes, and Cedric is very talented mixing engineer. So we decided that Cedric will do the mixes and we'll work together with Bart as a producer, and they did an amazing job together. I love the sound of the album. Even though, it wasn't recorded in the studio, we were all recorded our tracks at homes. I think it sounds great, and all guys did a fantastic job with recording and all stuff. Yeah, but Cedric is like, he's amazing, he do mixes, he plays drums, he plays guitar, he plays bass guitar. He also composed a few songs for the new album. So in general, working with him is such a pleasure.
Yeah. I'm assuming this was your first time you've ever put an album together like that, totally non-studio.
Yes, that is
so to
true.
Speak,
Yeah, that's true, and that was so weird, because, and it was so different. For me, it was weird because when we were working on previous albums, it was always like working in the studio with your bandmates, with producer. You could focus on music only. You could focus on the job you just have to do, and the outside world just haven't existed back then. But when you are working at home, something at the back of your head, you always have this kind of thoughts that you have to do something, you have to go somewhere, and so on, and it's impossible to focus completely. But it wasn't that bad. For example, from a vocalist point of view, it was pretty comfortable because, for example, when I have studio booked for recording vocals, I have to go to the studio and record my vocals, no matter in what kind of a condition I am on the specific day. It doesn't matter if I have or haven't a good sleep, if I'm tired or anything like that. I just have to go to the studio and record my tracks because I know that, for example, tomorrow bass player is recording bass guitar and so on. And for example, when I'm recording at home, if I'm tired, I don't have to record now. I can record tomorrow. So this is kind of cool situation. And I will tell you something pretty interesting regarding recording vocals for this album. As I mentioned, all lyrics are inspired by Lovecraft stories. And with Bart, we took our Olga and went outside the city to a house which we heard is haunted. So recording vocals were pretty interesting out there. So I could even felt more this kind of being part of Lovecraft's worlds.
Did you have any experiences there in the house with anything?
No, I was expecting something extraordinary to happen, but well, nothing happened. Except that I recorded all those vocal tracks out there, which was pretty interesting experience for me. But I also wanted to do that out there because it's a house with no neighbors outside, with surrounded by nature and so on. So it was only me and music and Bart, of course. And yeah, to be honest, I liked that way of recording my parts, and I would like to repeat that in the future. The only thing I miss when we were recording album that way, I was missing my bandmates a lot, because recording music with them, it's like sharing your passion, which is music, with your friends. Working on music with people that you really like, because in Crystal Viper, except being just a bandmates, we are also pretty good friends. Even if we are not working on music or anything, we keep on touch and speak to each other literally every single day. So, but it's not the same, online contact with eye to eye, person to person.
Exactly. Let's get into some of the tracks. Like I said, I listened to it the other night. I thought it was really good. I like the way the Providence opened things up, a nice little prelude there, and then you go right into the Cult, which is, of course, the title track. To me, that had like a nice, we talked about Iron Maiden, that had a nice Iron Maiden, that sort of galloping riff to it, I like the way those two blended together. How did you decide to open up with like the prelude, with like a short instrumental like that?
The main melody from Providence is the same melody that you can find in the Sleeping Giants song.
Ooh.
So yeah, Sleeping Giants, it's one of my favorite tracks on the album. So I really wanted to make a kind of an intro based on the main melody, on the main riff from this song. Mm-hmm. And this Providence, I would say it's a kind of a entrance, to a different world that you are taking you with this new album. I wanted to kind of write it's a kind of a soundtrack to one of, Lovecraft stories and so on. And what else? Providence, the title. Providence is the city where Lovecraft was born. So in general, our entire album it's almost like a tribute to Lovecraft. Even in the booklet on the thanks list, I mentioned Lovecraft. I said that I want to thank you for the inspiration for this album, because it was outstanding, for me to work on that. He inspired me so much.
Very cool. Let's jump ahead. I got a note on Whispers from Beyond, but since you mentioned Sleeping Giants, let's jump ahead to that one. To me, that opening riff is like you guys' Sweet Child of Mine. It's to me, it's instantaneously recognizable. I'm not saying it sounds like Sweet Child, but it's one of those riffs that when you hear it, you don't forget it, is what I'm trying to say. And your vocal, particularly in the chorus, I thought was almost like lullaby-ish, was what I perceived out of it. I love that track. Great stuff. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, thank you very much. Glad you like it. For me, this song is like, it has this kind of little bit of Black Sabbath and maybe Manowar vibe. with this rememberable melody at the beginning.
Yeah.
I remember when I was composing this one, I was sitting, by my piano, and I was like playing this melody, imagining different stuff, and I was going and I was moving on with next parts of the song.
Yeah.
I really loved the way that I was working on this one.
Yeah. Excellent track. Going back now to track 3, Whispers from Beyond. There was a fantastic melody on that one, and I like the way when you sang on that one, to me, that you were kind of like spitting out the lyrics. You were what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of it right now. But do you know what I sort of mean?
When I was in general, I'm not sure if I know what you mean, but I think I do know. I was trying to sing all tracks in this kind of way to, when there is a song, there's always music and there are lyrics, right? Yeah. But with lyrics, you are telling the story. And I was trying to not only sing the melody, but I was trying also to try to tell the story with my voice. I don't know right now. I'm not sure if you know what I mean.
I think the word I'm looking for is you were like aggressive with your lyrics.
Because because when I was singing this song, I really meant when I was singing, and this is what I always try to do with my voice, to make people understand what the song is about, not only by reading the lyrics, but also by hearing of my voice, the way I try to sing.
Yeah, exactly. My favorite track was track 7. It had so many dimensions, and I'm hoping you can correct me if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Is it Ascent Weight?
In Poland we say Ascent Weight.
Okay. That was my favorite track. I love that track. Like I said, there were so many different dimensions to it and everything. As I was playing through that one, I try and pick out my favorite one. That was my favorite track.
It's probably the most aggressive one on the album.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a kind of interesting one, because Ascent Weight was a character from the story titled "The Thing on the Doorstep." So it's pretty interesting story itself, and I tried to sing the song in a way of a person who has someone else in his head, and that someone who is trying to manipulate me. And also recording this one was great, and I tried to do new things with my voice and so on. And in general, I think I learned a lot, when I was recording this album. But I learned a lot of new things with my voice when I was recording Welcome Home from King Diamond. That was amazing.
Yeah. The two covers you've got, I want to make sure I'm getting these right. On the vinyl version, anybody that buys a vinyl version is going to get Trial by Fire by Satan. And I believe it's the CD version that has Welcome Home by King Diamond.
Yes.
Both those tracks I was lucky enough on the download, I got them both. Very heavy. Like you said, yeah, I can see where you probably learned on that one. Those are great tracks. Great tracks.
Thank you. And with King Diamond, it was pretty interesting for me to record vocals for this one, because when I started working on this song, I actually, to be honest with you, I didn't know what to expect, actually, because I love King Diamond, I love this song, and I love the way that King Diamond performed this one originally. He performed the song in a kind of theatrical way, and I also knew that I want to do something similar. I want to get into the characters from the song with kind of changing my voice from every single character from this one. And I didn't know if I will be able to do that in the way that I imagined, but I can tell you I'm pretty proud of this song, because, as I said, I learned a lot of things, because I was recording the song at the same time, I was learning new vocal techniques because I knew what I want to achieve. And I had to learn that. And sometimes I was just sitting on the couch and I needed to wait until I stopped laughing, because I was laughing at myself because of those weird noises that were coming out from my mouth sometimes. Yeah, because this is actually how learning some singing techniques looks like. Sometimes you need to do some very funny noises. And
so really, for as long as you've been singing, then that just goes to show that, there's always something new to learn. There's always a new approach. And sometimes you have to push the envelope a little bit to get there,
Yes, of course. And not only vocally, in general, if you play any instrument, you are learning for all your life, because when you are playing, you are practicing, so you are better and better in what you do. And this is actually how it works.
Yeah. Yep. I was looking at some videos. You did a couple of other tracks. You did a Sabotage cover recently for When the Crowds Are Gone. Was a Keep It True exclusive. That must have been pretty cool.
Thank you very much. I'm glad that Oliver invited me to perform this song for another episode of Keep It True TV special. And I was even more happy because, I love the song. I really like Sabotage. And Sabotage was always close to my heart because of the piano. They have piano in their music. And it's the same with, for example, Virgin Steel. They have also a lot of piano and orchestrations in their music. And actually another song a couple of months ago that I recorded for Keep It True TV special was Arms of Mercury from Virgin Steel. And I was also recording with this kind of acoustic version with piano and vocals only. And I like to do this kind of recordings. Piano is very close to my heart, as it's my first instrument actually, because I started playing piano as a child. And most of Crystal Viper songs actually are composed on piano.
Oh, I did not know that. I knew you started young. You saw a symphony orchestra on TV when you were like 6 years old, and that's what got you on your path to music. That's when you decided you wanted to be a musician.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
Well, that's pretty good to know at 6 what you want to do.
I was that lucky. I was super, super lucky that actually my parents treated it seriously, because usually no one cares what little kid is saying, because kids keep on telling a lot of different stuff every single day. And one day I told my parents, Mom, Dad, look, I want to be like them. I want to play. So they sent me to music school. And that was just like, that was it. I love playing since I was a child. My parents never had to force me to play, to practice, because this is what I loved to do. This is what I love to do, and what I've always loved to do. And actually, that's pretty interesting, and not many people knows about that. That piano is actually my first instrument and my main instrument, and I started playing guitar many, many years after that. Crystal Viper was already a band, and we were performing and so on, and I started playing guitar only because I wanted to be able to compose better guitar riffs, because I wasn't able to compose everything on my piano. And sometimes guys from my band didn't understand what I had on mind. So one day I just made up my mind, okay, I need to learn to play guitar to be better composer, to be able to compose those guitar riffs and so on. And that's also how I learned to play bass guitar, for example. But I've never planned to play live guitar on stage. That wasn't my plan, and to be honest, I didn't want to do that. And all I wanted to do was to compose music, to sit at home in my home studio and to compose on guitar. Actually, who decided to the people who decided that I became live guitarist for Crystal Viper were my bandmates.
Mm.
So
Now, when did singing come into the picture?
singing,
Yeah.
well,
Were you
in,
singing the whole time, or is that something that came about later, or?
no, I always loved to sing. I remember even when I was small, when I was a child, I was playing with my piano. I was already composing songs and I was singing them. You know, there were songs about, I don't know, animals from the forest, about butterflies and flowers and monsters from my wardrobe and so on. But I've always loved to sing and play along with my piano. So that
Oh,
was kind of natural for me.
okay. So I came about. Okay, very cool. I read an interview of yours you did back, I believe it was in 2014, and I found this fascinating. Somebody asked you where you thought music would be 100 years from now, and your answer was you thought bands would be playing in empty halls, people would be home with special headphones and wearing glass, like a virtual reality type thing. And lo and behold, Marta, 6 years later, you
Yes, I
know,
know.
it's
I
kind of
know.
happened. Do you
I
remember that
I
interview
hope
at all?
I hope it's not my fault.
No, no. But that's amazingly prophetic. Do you remember
Oh,
that interview or giving that answer at all?
uh, well, to be honest, I don't remember. But if you would ask me that question, for example, 1 year ago, I would probably say exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Because, world is changing, technology is still changing, and we are trying to follow, to be on time with the technology and so on. And where are we right now? 2021, and we are watching live shows on our computers.
Yeah.
And bands like Kiss are performing for people with cameras, because there were no audiences. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if you've seen that live show they
I've
played
seen bits
at
of it.
the. Yeah, it was kind of sad for me, a
Yeah, I
band
mean,
like.
would you ever imagine Kiss playing to no one? You know?
Yeah, yeah, that's horrible, that's
Yeah.
horrible. But I actually remember one Crystal Viper show that we were playing to no one. many many years ago. I remember it was a live show. We were, I don't remember which country was that, but I remember we were traveling a few hundred kilometers to play this one, and I don't know why the promoter of the live show didn't promote it at all, so no one knows that we are coming. And there were 5 people in the venue, and those 5 people were our manager, our technician, the sound guy, one guy behind the bar, and maybe one people who came inside the club because he heard that someone's playing inside. So,
Wow.
and I remember it was even happy because when we finished the live show, of course, Bart, he likes to make jokes, and Bart with our roadie started to, we want more, we want more.
That's your true
Yeah.
anvil moment right there.
Yeah, that was funny. But that was pretty interesting experience as well. We traveled so many kilometers to play a rehearsal in the venue. But
Yeah.
most important that we were having fun anyway. So and I think that's most important. We with Crystal Viper we are able to play a live show in the same way, and it doesn't matter if we play for one person or for 1,000
Right.
people out there. So most important is to feel this kind of happiness on stage, because I love that feeling, when I'm on stage. This is what really makes me feel alive.
Definitely. So going forward, I mean, we talk about wanting to be on stage and everything, but right now everything's sort of on hold. Do we have any more videos coming out for the album? What's the future for Crystal Viper right now?
I really don't know, because our plan is to very soon shoot the music video and to take some band pictures, because we are releasing our new album in a kind of it's a matter of days right now, and
Sure.
we have no photos, no video, because during the last year we were not able to meet, because it was impossible to travel from country to country and so on. So this is the very first time that we are releasing the album, and there is no picture of the band inside the booklet because we have none. We hired an artist who painted us, together, and it's a kind of you can find this picture on Facebook. I think it's still our profile picture on Facebook. This painting, a kind of comic characters. Yeah. So it's not only because it looks cool, but it's the only one picture we have, actually, because we don't have a real one. Yeah. The other plan is to finish our new projects, because right after we finished the Cult album, we started to work on some additional things. And I promise it's going to be a huge surprise, and we will announce some very cool news very soon. So stay tuned, because I trust you will be super surprised what we are doing. We're trying to keep ourselves musically as busy as possible, because there are no live shows and so on. So, but we are like bursting with musical energy.
Sure. So. Well, that'll give us all something to look forward to. So that's very
cool. There will be something. Trust me.
All right. We've been chatting with Marta Gabriel of Crystal Viper. Don't forget the new album, The Cult, coming out February 12th on Listenable Records. Marta, I like to end with just silly questions. I'm hoping these are maybe some questions you've never even been asked. Sound good?
And those kind of questions are always ones that I'm afraid of.
I'll give you my easy ones then.
Okay, so I will, if there will be something that will be too trouble for me, I will just say that, Lance, I'm losing you,
There you go, yeah. I'm going to say pass,
So we have a safe word.
Yeah. Favorite toy growing up as a child?
Lego sets.
Lego sets?
Yes.
Is there something you've always wanted to learn but never had the time to do it?
Yes, playing drums.
Playing drums, okay. Add that to your repertoire. That would be good. What is a day off from music like? You and Bart are not going to do anything musically for a day. What are you two going to do?
It's not possible. It's not possible, because for both of us, music is our whole life. Even if I'm not playing, not composing, or Bart is not working with other bands, he's not doing mastering, or he doesn't produce any other bands, we keep on listening to music. So, yeah, music, it's still present in our lives.
Okay. If you could pick a television show to have a Crystal Viper song placed in, what show would you like it to be put in?
I don't know, because TV show. I don't have a TV.
Okay.
So I have no idea what's played on TV. I can tell you what we have on Netflix. So.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, seriously, and a lot of people are pretty surprised how it comes that you guys don't have TV. Yeah, we don't have TV because there's only a bullshit on the TV. Some, if I want to know what is going on the in the world, I just read the news on the internet and so on. But regarding watching stuff, we are watching Netflix and so on. So I have no idea what's on the TV.
All right. If you could go back in time and eat one of your mom's home-cooked meals from your childhood, what would you pick?
Pierogi. It's a kind of traditional Polish meal, and it's delicious. And I'm actually visiting my mother this Saturday, and we are going to do some together.
That's very cool. Given your choice of household chores, would you rather do the dishes or the laundry?
Dishes.
Dishes?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. What is the other one I've got here? Let me flip my page over here. Tell you what, I'll go to my ending question. If they were to make a movie of your life, what actress would you have play you in the movie? And it's your movie, your life. You can pick anybody.
Megan Fox, because, she's like... I just like her. She's she is beautiful. I really like how she looks, and I like the way she plays in movies. I love her for Transformers, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Marta, it's been fun talking to you tonight. I promised I wouldn't keep you up too late, so
It's okay. Yeah, I
but
will sleep till 12 on the next day, so it's completely fine.
so once again, we have been chatting with Marta Gabriel of Crystal Viper here tonight for Let's Discuss with Lance Hall's new album, The Cult, coming out on Listenable Records February 12th. And fantastic album. Despite everything you had to go through to get this album and recording it separately and in separate places and putting it all together, it must have been like a big giant jigsaw puzzle. It's a fantastic piece of music.
Thank you very much. We really did our best to get this album together, and as I said, we are very proud of it. I'm proud of guys from the band, of Eric, Blaze, Cedric, and Andy, and working with them was a pleasure as always, and especially working with Ted. We were working together for the first time. And thank you very much for this nice talk, for a nice chat. Thank you for supporting Crystal Viper. I hope your listeners also will also like our new album.
I think they will, and we'll look forward to that other new stuff that you hinted about. That's looking forward to that as well.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it, and I really cannot wait to be able to tell more about them. But well, right now I need to,
Yeah. We'll concentrate on the new album first, and then move on.
Yeah.
So that's excellent. Marta, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you very much. Have a nice day, Lance.
Bye-bye.
Bye.